I'm Michael Waddell, and this is my setup for the 2019 fall, which will carry over, I'm sure, right into January of 2020. But as you can see, it's a Hoyt Bone Collector Edition. It's a RX3 out of the Red Work series of bows by Hoyt. You can see I got screwed on a fuse stabilizer. It's about 6 inches. This will be switched out during the hunting season for a Tacticam. This is on here just because it resembles a Tacticam and it actually doesn't keep beating up my camera or my Tacticam, so I don't scratch my lens or just rattle electronics. I just screw this on that's very similar. Rest, I think, is one of the more important things on the bow setup. It's an HHA drop away. I have been very, very pleased with this rest. It's tough, durable. From hunting Yukon moose to whitetails or turkeys back home, it hadn't failed me. Easy to tune, good air flight. My sight is a dead ringer. This is the micro adjust, and I've got out to 70 yards on this. I even whittled my own little pin for that, even though I could have got one from dead ringer. I was just bored one day and just whittled me one out there. But anyway, obviously this bow is this side is micro adjust. I personally like pins only because I do a lot of deer hunting and elk hunting, and sometimes in transition deer can go from 20 to 30 to 50 real quick. If I have a pin on my bow, I'm totally prepared to use it, not just on the range but also in killing an animal. And so I like the pins because so many times in the whitetail woods I'll range a deer, maybe he's 40 yards, and then when I draw my bow back and put my 40-yard pin on it, but if I look and my 20-yard pin's on a limb that's at 20 yards, then I know that my trajectory is going to hit trash. So therefore I use these pins above and sometimes below to help me understand where my air flight might be or predict where my air flight might be. So I like that. Obviously the peep sight I shoot is made by G5. It's a bigger peep sight. I prefer shooting with both eyes open. I've always thought if you're a bow hunter that can get used to shooting with both eyes open, it's going to help you in those, early morning and dusk situations, so you can actually see your deer, see through your pins, and be able to make and execute a shot in low light conditions. The release we've been with forever is a True Ball. This is the Beast prototype. I just broke down and put a new leather strap on just the other day, so that release has been with me ever since 2008, I think it's been. So this bow here, I keep the 80-pound limbs on the bow. Is it necessary? No. I think these days, especially these Hoyts, they generate plenty enough energy to be efficient even at 60 pounds. I prefer a bow that shoots a little fast, but I also like a little heavier arrow setup, so I want an arrow that I know I can be pushing, well over 280, maybe up to 300 or more. And so therefore I fluctuate my bow by my poundage. Most time I'm usually setting anywhere between 76 and 80 pounds, and that gets me in my happy spot of where I want to be depending on the model of bow I'm shooting. And with that, I also shoot a 28-inch draw, so it keeps me in a situation where I need a little extra poundage, at least for me. My arrow is the Bone Collector arrow. These are in Walmart. I really like a lighted nock where they're legal. Most of the states now are legal. It really looks good on video, and you can really track your arrow flight. This particular bow arrow has been a little bit manipulated from the way it was sold. They come with 15, or you can get I think a 55 grain insert. This particular insert and setup comes from T-Bone Expertise, to where he changes the FOC. So I've got I think it's up to about 120 grains extra up here up front. So my total arrow weight is about 470 grains, and when by the time I put a broadhead on it, so it's a 470 grain arrow. These Bone Collector shafts are super straight, super durable. So I can take this arrow to hunt pretty much anything that I would hunt in North America. So that's what I like, and that is my setup. And the only thing I do different from what I'm doing now, I obviously put a fused quiver on this bow. I shoot with my arrows on my bow. I'll screw in a G5, either a T3 or a Havoc, and we go collect back straps. It's that simple. That's my setup for 2019. And the only thing I do that's kind of different from a lot of hunters who travel, this is an OMP soft bow case, and it's got a lot of room, a lot of compartments, and believe it or not, I pack my clothes because if you fly airlines, it's really frustrating to have to pay to check bags. They have to be under 50 pounds. You usually get one bag, and most of the time you got to pay for that first bag. So my bow case is an important part of my travel kit. So I put my bow in a soft case, and I pack clothes in this, and I fly it in this Bone Collector Outdoor Mountain Product bow case. So that's my complete setup. I put this bow in. I'm getting ready to go hunting now. I'll fly this in there, put some non-typical clothes on top and in and around it, and I'll fly it to my location. And then I've got a soft bow case no matter where I go. So that's my setup. That's the way I roll. Hot dog, the pre-dawn excitement. The first hunt of the year. It's the first day we've been out since really January outside of turkey hunting, but for its big game, so always anxious, never gets old. You never get too old, so I always like Christmas. Every year like Christmas every time. Don't matter if you're 10 or 109. I hope I'm still doing it when I'm 109.